Hey y'all, this is Destiny checking in with today's Daily Diamond. Hey family, as always, I would like to say welcome to anybody who is new and checking out the podcast. I thank you for the support. I know it's been forever since I've recorded an episode, but it's finally summertime and my plate is finally empty. And so I figured why not get on here and get my thoughts out of my head and onto a podcast. Because hey, somebody might be thinking about or struggling with the same thing I'm getting ready to talk about. So, who knows? You know that before I do anything, I have to thank my beautiful sponsors. It's been forever since I've shouted them out. It's been forever since I've posted them on my Instagram page. And so I have to give them all of the love. And I am promising that this week, I will be shouting out all of the businesses that have ever supported me and supporting them. So make sure you guys first follow Royal Crown Hair Company. Sade is currently running a special. You get 2 bundles for $125. I know that blonde hair is not included, but I will make sure to post that stuff on my Instagram page so that you can check her out. Then, of course, we have our up-and-coming braider and hairstylist, Lisha. Make sure you check her out for your box braids, your buns, your curls, and your ponytails. Then, of course, we have Kisses by Chelly. Chelly is still selling lip gloss and lashes, so make sure you check her out. I know that it is the summertime, but she can get to you, and you can definitely get to her. And last but not least, we have my best friend, Tiana Nate. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, share, and comment on all of her videos. She just recently came back from a family trip to the Bahamas, and I believe that there is a YouTube upload on the way. Now, on to today's topic. Today's topic might be a little bit of a repeat, but that's okay because sometimes I feel like we need a reminder of things and we need a little repeat of things. And so today I want to talk about walking in your purpose. And so you guys know, I've said this a million times, that I am an extremely sensitive, extremely reflective individual. But in all of that, right, when you are extremely sensitive and you're extremely reflective and you're extremely emotional, you find yourself in a position where quite often you have to kind of like get in your head and you have to kind of figure out who you are, figure out what it is that you want, because if you're not careful, you'll wind up in a almost like depressed like stage. And so today and this week, I challenge you to walk in your purpose. And I challenge you first to figure out who you are. I learned this as a teenager, and I used to spend a lot of time like writing it on a list and trying to figure out who I am. And it was a couple of days ago, and I was on the phone with my dad, and I'm like, I have 2 best friends, and both of my best friends, they are different people and they serve different sides of my personality. So it is okay if you're a multifaceted person. It's okay if you have multiple sides to your personality, and it is okay if you have multiple friends who serve the different sides of your personality. I always say that Tiana is like the side of me that's nerdy and the more quiet side, the more reserved side that I am when I'm a professional, and Therese is my friend that is the more bubbly and outgoing side of myself. Even though they're different, right? They both match my vibe and they both are good extensions of my personality in different ways. And that's cool. But in order for me to figure out that that was who I was, right, I had to walk in my purpose. In order for me to figure out what it was that I needed and what I wanted to be surrounded by, I had to walk in my purpose. And so if you're out there and you're listening to this and you're struggling with something, I challenge you today and every day to figure out what your purpose is and walk in it. I don't care if you have to sit down with a pen and a piece of paper and list out who you are and what it is that you want and what it is that you enjoy and what it is that makes you feel good, or if it's a thing where you have to sit down and you have to talk to somebody. I'm a fundamental believer, in talking to someone. We all struggle with different things, and you really gotta get those things out. You really have to put yourself in a predicament where you can be safe, where you can be happy, and where you can be healthy. And anything that is not going to help you walk in your purpose, eradicate that thing from your life. If you are friends with someone, or you're on social media and you find social media to be too negative, or you find certain things to be too negative or to put you in a bad headspace, completely eradicate those things from your life. You want to protect your peace and your sanity at all times. You want to protect yourself at all times. I am an extremely sensitive individual, like I just said, and quite often when I'm on social media, right, I start to compare myself to people. I'm not pretty enough. I'm not smart enough. I'm not strong enough. I'm not skinny enough. I'm not, right? I get all of these things that I am not. And I think that we have to be very, very careful of that, because social media will put you in a place, in a predicament in which, I apologize for the kids, but social media will put you in a place, in a predicament in which you don't think you're good enough. You don't think you are enough. And that is not you walking in your purpose. That is not you being who Allah intended you to be. And so you have to figure out a way to be exactly who it is that you are supposed to be. One thing that I am thankful for is that as a child growing up, my mother allowed me to be who I was, whether it was I experimented with my hair, or I experimented with my clothing, or I experimented with my music, right? She allowed me to be who it was that I needed to be at that time and at that moment. And so as I transitioned into adulthood, I have become a person who I'm not everybody's cup of tea, and I'm okay with that. I am very bold. I am very outgoing sometimes, but in the same breath I can be the other way. But like, I'm okay with that because I know who I am, and I try my best to walk in my purpose. I try my best to say, okay, this is who I am, or this is who I want to be, and then I try my best to stick to that. And so I challenge you to do that same thing. And like I was saying, if you are around somebody or something that's causing you to not walk in your purpose, then you need not put yourself in that situation. You need not put yourself in that friendship or in that relationship or in that predicament, because it does nothing positive for you, right? It is so sad when you watch people struggle with certain things, and you watch people who are being bullied, or you watch people who are considering taking their own life because things are just so difficult for them. That is hard to watch. But one of the things that I always wonder when I see somebody struggling with those things is like, have they ever had a conversation with themselves? Have they ever figured out what it is that they want and what it is that they need? And then when you can figure out what it is that you want and what you need, you can find peace within yourself. And once you find that peace within yourself, you should be good to go. Like, and you got to figure out, like I said, what things are good for you, what things are bad for you. I always, always, always take breaks from social media, because I know that social media for me can be a bad thing. I know that social media for me will put me in a place where I feel like I'm not living enough. I don't have enough money. I don't have this. I don't have that. It has way too much, oftentimes, influence on a lot of our lives. And it makes us feel like we are mediocre, when in fact, the things that people put on social media is not them walking in their purpose. They're just posting what they think makes them look great. And social media, to me, is not even really a place to be social, because there's no conversation that is happening. There's nothing happening quite oftentimes on social media that is really social. Nobody applauding you. Nobody, telling you that you're great. And we get that, you know what I'm saying? When you're with your close friends on social media, you get that. You get a lot of love. But we need a little bit more of love, and we need a little bit less of the self-hate and the self-doubt. And so I challenge you, like I said, if you're listening, just figure out what your purpose is. And once you figure out what your purpose is, walk in it. And I'm not saying that your journey is going to be easy. I'm not saying that your path is going to be a straight and narrow, because no path ever is. But literally do your absolute best to walk in your purpose. I tell you guys all the time, when I record these episodes, it's for me, because it's a form of therapy. It's a way for me to get out my thoughts. It's a way for me to get out my emotions. And it's a way for me to be transparent about some of the things that I personally struggle with, but I walk away feeling like a better person. I walk away feeling like whatever was on my heart and whatever was on my spirit, whatever was on my chest is now gone and it's now lifted. And I don't mind being transparent in who I am. I don't mind being transparent as a person or as an individual. But like, me being transparent is a part of me walking in my purpose. I am somebody who needs social interaction. I am somebody who needs conversation, right? I need to be around people. And so I really, really try to walk in my purpose. And it's also something that kind of transcends, not necessarily. It is also something that not necessarily transcends only in my personal life, but it moves into my professional life, right? As a teacher, quite often I always wonder, am I doing enough? Should I get another job? Should I move into administration? But then I have to sit back and I have to be reflective about the job and the career that I chose. And then I have to remember that a lot of that God ordered my steps, and that me being in this place in a classroom, for instance, is exactly where I'm needed at the time. And so I have to walk in that purpose. There may come a time when I'm no longer a classroom teacher. You may be doing an hourly job right now, and there may be a time that thing no longer exists, and you become a business owner, or you become something else, or you transition into another aspect of your life, right? But at the time and where you are in your life, walk in that purpose. Be really, really reflective. Be very, very intentional. Pay attention to the things that you see unfolding in front of you, and take notes. Mental notes, physical notes, whatever kind of notes you need to take notes, so that you can make sure that at all times you are steady walking in your purpose. If you have a goal or a dream or something that you're trying to reach, do that thing. reach that thing. If you are out here and you can't seem to find your footing, take time to pray, take time to cry, take time to think. Literally take time to put yourself in a situation in which you can figure out who you are and then walk in your purpose. And then anybody and everybody that's not a part of that process that's positive, get rid of them, eradicate them from your life, because you don't want to put yourself in a place where you feel downtrodden, or you feel like you're horrible, or you feel like you're not good enough. You're good enough, you're great, you're powerful, you're beautiful, you're amazing, you're all of those positive things. But you have to make sure that you protect all of those things. I watch a lot of people so often, especially like I said on social media, right? They play themselves down. They don't think that they're this. They don't think that they're that. They think that they don't have whatever. And in all actuality, you have all that you need right there in your personality, right there in your vessel, right there in who you are, your spirit as a human being. And that is enough. You are enough. But you have to know that you are indeed enough, and that your purpose is to be exactly who God created you to be. I'm a fundamental believer in that we are exactly who God created us to be. It doesn't mean that we're not going to make mistakes. It doesn't mean that we're not going to fall short, but we have to literally walk through our journey, and we have to figure out a way that when our journey is difficult, we have to figure out a way to navigate through that thing too. Right? It doesn't mean that life is always going to be peaches and cream, because it's not. It's not. It's not going to always be perfect. You're not going to always be happy. You're not going to always have enough money. But you have to literally put yourself in a predicament where you walk in your purpose and you are okay with exactly who you are, because that is who God intended you to be. And so, whatever it is that you're working on, whatever it is that you are nurturing, whatever it is that is your thing, do that thing. Walk in your purpose, and then protect your peace, because it's so, so very important for you, for your family, for whomever, that you are happy and that you are healthy, and that, you can be your best version of yourself at all times. And even if your best version right now is covered in tears, that's okay too, because that's transformative, right? You'll put yourself in a predicament. You'll put yourself in a situation in which you learn something from the failure, or you learn something from the pain, or you learn something from the loss. That's okay too. Walk in that purpose too, because it is important. And so I'm getting ready to sign up, but I really, really want to challenge you this week to walk in your purpose. Who are you? Who will you become? And how will you make the necessary steps to be the best version of yourselves, regardless of what that looks like? And don't allow anybody to knock you off your square. Don't allow anybody to change your path. Walk in your purpose. And this is Destiny signing out. And I promise I'm coming back. I'm logging back in. I'm recording again this summer. Weekly episodes will be on the way. Y'all can hold me to that. I promise. But I'll see you guys soon. Have a great day, family.